absolutely overwhelmed. I thought we were going to be 10 or 15 people here today. This is great. If I started expressing appreciation to people, then I'd be here for a long, long time. But my heart is full as I feel so honored. Dr. Aguilar, Dr. Johnson, Rod Masteller, David Hankins, and Senator, I have admired you for a long time, and I am so honored to have you and Congressman Fleming and Congressman Alexander here. Louisiana stands proud in Washington. I particularly want you to meet my wife, Nancy, and my son, Paul. Would you all mind standing? I have 2 daughters, 2 sons-in-law, and 7 grandchildren. And 1 grandchild is at Mississippi College, and 2 grandchildren are at Baylor. So we're using our Baptist educational institutions very, very well. We have 2 particular family friends that are here today. Ones that we're devoted to, Keith Lewis and from Dallas, and then Major Andrew Davis. Andrew, are you in the crowd? You can tell him, yes, by his uniform. And then I'm particularly honored to have 2 distinguished members of the Texas legislature that are here. Brian Hughes is from the Marshall area and has served a number of terms with distinction. And David Simpson has just been nominated from the Longview area, defeating a long-entrenched incumbent. And David has only a minor party opposition in November, and these will be 2 outstanding Christian members of the Texas legislature, and we are they're in the greater area for the school, and I'm so glad to have them come today. When I was 12 years old, I received a present for Christmas. It was a law book. Now, some people are given subtle hints about the way they're supposed to perform. This wasn't too subtle. And I'm going to read to you what is written on the front flyleaf. Your great-grandfather was the author of this book. He wrote about 15 textbooks for law. I, your grandfather, as a typist, wrote the manuscript, copy from which the printer printed the first edition. Your father is presenting the book to you, 4 generations linked together by a book. Your great-grandfather, who was the founding dean of the law school at the University of Texas, and the one who's writing this, my grandfather, was a founder of South Texas College of Law and volunteer dean for about 30 years. Yeah. Said your great-grandfather was the most nearly perfect Christian gentleman I have ever known. As a lawyer, he was a philosopher making practical application to human affairs of the fundamental principles of right, justice, and equity as combined in what we call law. For him, the law was not a set of technical rules whereby the calculating could trap the unwary, but the composite of principles of right, providing for the orderly conduct of society, for the maximum and equal protection of the rights and liberties of all. He will long be remembered for his life, his example, and his teachings. We have a high standard to live up to. Lovingly, your grandfather, E.E. Towns. So I come here today overwhelmed with the generosity that Louisiana Baptists in general and Louisiana College are paying to me. I'm overwhelmed with the legacy that I've enjoyed from these godly men that went before. Law is the way we maintain society, and without the Christian concept and without the Christian dedication, there is no way that democratic government is going to operate effectively. Right. I am so grateful to you. It is a privilege being here, and I look forward to having a second home in Shreveport and doing all we can to work together for the benefit of our nation and the benefit of God's kingdom.